Yeah, what a week he's had. Makeshift right back and then the match winner. And really interesting, actually. We were just doing some research. He is the captain and free kick taker of Hungary. He scores free kicks for Hungary. But as he was saying, when you're playing with Trent Alexander-Arnold, when you play for England with David Beckham, nobody else gets a chance because they're so good.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, we were all, as he was lining it up, we were thinking, never really seen him take many free kicks.
Because it was Trent.
Absolutely. So we were intrigued. And then in his interview there, he said, well, when I get closer, I have a different technique. It wouldn't have been that type of... So I can't wait now until there's one from 20 yards out to see what he's doing. Because, as you say, Trent Alexander-Arnold was exclusively taking the free kicks over the last few years. So quite incredible that Liverpool have got another very good free kick taker in their ranks. So I guess that he's going to be claiming the next few now after that. And no wonder why. I mean, 32.2 yards. He did mention Raya. To be honest, if you put a ball there and say... Can you score from that far out? I'm probably saying no.
Are you?
Probably 32 point. I mean, I was speaking to the guys before, and I've said it on this, sat in this chair before. I think the wall in this situation is a hindrance. I don't know. I think soon, I'd be surprised if soon, when the ball is that far out, 32 yards out, over 32 yards out, if the goalkeeper stands in the middle and there is no wall, I bet he doesn't have to even dive. I bet he can just shuffle and catch it. The wall in that situation is a hindrance. They don't get to see it. It gives somebody a target to hit it over and up. The goalkeeper always has to shuffle one side of the goal or the other. If he just stands in the middle and there's nothing in front of him, what would happen is the opponents would start blocking. The opponents would make their own wall. And that just shows you. The free kick taker wants a wall there. It gives them a point of reference. So, don't get me wrong, 20 yards out, you need a wall. But over 32 yards out, I think a wall is a hindrance to a goalkeeper.
What's the defender's point of view?
Yeah, no, I do agree with that from that far out. I think if you give any footballer a shot from that far out with nothing in front of them and said, hit that, I don't even know, like, sort of what technique you would go for. I think people would just try and lace it. But listen, it's obviously something that now the amount of set piece coaches that are coming in, they've put work into it. He said it himself. He said they always look Raya moves behind the wall. So it's obviously something that they've picked up and worked on. And listen, I'll never, ever hit a ball as well as that. So it's hard for me to comment on, but it was a great free kick.
Raya's positioning from an Arsenal point of view, anything in that at all, do we think?
No, I don't know. Like we said, this is probably not the easiest one, but right in the middle, you can hit both ways. And with someone of this quality, if he goes on the right side, probably he chooses to go on the other side. So again, a free kick is well taken. It's very difficult to counter. And I think this, sometimes we just need to accept that, you know, the power, the bends, the technique is just perfect. And sometimes you just need to clap because this is what we want to see. We want to see great goals, and I think this is a great goal.
We'll see that again because you can see Szoboszlai pointing to his teammates, Wirtz and Gakpo, to move. And as he strikes it, just watch 18 and 7 here for Liverpool.
Exactly. One in a block his view. And that's my point. It's all about blocking the view of the goalkeeper. If he gets to see it straight, he doesn't get to see it. Because of the wall, he doesn't get to see the flight of the ball until it's soaring over the wall. So straight away, there's at least 10, you know, walls are 10 yards away. So straight away, it's almost like a ball flying in from 22 yards. Now, if he gets that extra 10 yards to see the ball, he would... I mean, he was that far away from touching it anyway. It had to be so perfect to score, and it was. But if he had that extra 10 yards to see the ball, he would have saved it. He would have shuffled across more with his feet. He would have definitely saved it. And you can see Szoboszlai saying, move over, block it even... And at the outset, you could see Raya, if he stood in the goal, he could see right through the middle. But then as he pulled him across, then that blocked his view. And that's what it's all about. And as I say, take the wall out of it, I'm pretty convinced that the opposing team would actually stick their own wall in there to block the goalkeeper's view. So it might not make any difference anyway. But it was just the most incredible free kick to win a game.
And these are the fine margins at the elite level, right at the top of the Premier League, that, as we've just seen in a game, can be the difference to separate two of these top teams.
I think, like, 10, 15 years ago, wouldn't even be speaking about set-piece coaches and stuff. I think it's something that's coming into the game because it's like those little marginal gains you can get over. Teams, if you look at Arsenal, the amount, 44 set-pieces they've scored, and it just shows you, like, the amount of points they must have won from just them tiny little percentages, like hitting the right areas, the time and first contact. So it's obviously an advantage they've used in the game.
That's probably the irony that we've been talking all day leading up to the game about Arsenal's set-piece play and points they gain, that Arsenal have lost to a spectacular set-piece.
I mean, it's, you know, games like this, very tight between two teams of, quality that is very high, the two best team in the country over the last few months, for sure it takes something special, and that is special. But other than the goal, I think, nowadays we're seeing player playing out of position, and we kind of see it as normal for him to play right back. I think that's tremendous. Nothing came up this side, the left winger of Arsenal never managed to cause trouble on this side, and I think we have to give him credit, because it's always difficult to play in a different position, and of course, adding up goals is fantastic. For me, it was a fantastic performance from him.
Yeah, it's a point worth making, isn't it? And again, Newcastle away and Arsenal at home in a position he's never played before. Never mind the match-winning goal, the role he's played in those two games. In fact, the dummy in the winning goal at St James's Park as well.
I mean, he won't get an assist for that, but he had a huge hand in that goal. The awareness of what was behind him, getting into the box late on in the game. I mean, everybody knows he's got the best sort of pair of lungs, pair of legs in the game. He covers so much ground in games. And there were options tonight. Of course, Conor Bradley was back on the bench. Joe Gomez was there. He could have played right back. Endo has played right back before. But the manager, based on his previous game, he went with him again. And what a decision. Because, in the first half in particular, I thought he played very well. And then to come up with a match-winning goal. I mean, it's just interesting to see what happens next. Does he get put back into midfield now? Or does he keep, the tried and trusted right-backs out? It'd be fascinating.
Yeah, I think as well, like from a positional point of view, Liverpool like bringing the right back into midfield. So if you've got a midfielder who's comfortable on the ball and can do that, it's the risk that you're taking off the ball that he maybe isn't as comfortable defending. But at the moment, he seems to have done it well. You look at Arsenal the other way around, they want to bring Calafiori into midfield or Timber into midfield. But if you're bringing someone who's naturally good with like playing with the back to goal and can get on the half turn and play forward, then that can only be an advantage.
Was that something you guys discussed on Monday down your left hand side? The first game he played at right back.
Yeah, 100%. You'd like it's not his usual position, so it's something that you've got to look at as a weakness to attack. But he's done really well in that position. But it's always seemed to be that with Liverpool, whether it was Trent sort of drifting into midfield, who maybe had that. Like obviously very good going forward, had that long ball that you could play. So it's something that they've done, and I think it's obviously benefiting them.
But then equally from what Dan is saying, I think you can question Arsenal desire to attack these sides. I remember with France we played against England under 21, and Rico Lewis was playing right back, and we decided to put Odegaard on the side because we know on one-on-one, with the speed of Odegaard, we could hurt him. So sometimes it's things like this that can make you win games, but you can question this as well.
Because as we know, Gail, it's not an easy place. Well, you played a lot of left back. Not an easy place to play full back, is it? So.
No, it's obviously it's very hard to play anywhere, at that level. But as a defender, when you face those kind of players, one-on-one, that will 10 out of 10, they will come at you and again, it's very difficult. So you need to use that. And when you have someone who is playing out of position, it's not so much about having the ball, is more about the positioning. This is very difficult at that level with those players. So I think, it could have been interesting to see Arsenal actually going on this side and provoking the one-on-one with maybe Eze a bit earlier, maybe a bit more of Martinelli that we didn't see. But maybe also Liverpool played that well that they didn't give enough space. But you can question the fact that Arsenal wanted to attack the right side of Liverpool.
And much has been discussed about the strengthening of Arne Slot's Champions squad and refreshing, but to have that armoury 2 games in as well, to have Dominik Szoboszlai go and do the high-level performance he has.
Absolutely. I mean, they brought Frimpong in, and I probably agree with that because obviously Conor Bradley has had some injuries in his short career so far. So I think it was the right thing to do to bring an extra right-back as cover. But who'd have thought that, after only a couple of games, we're talking about how good another right-back is playing.